Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video playing Doomsday. Haven't really been playing any Magic for like a month and a half kinda, so I've been kind of out of the loop, but decided I wanted to play a league now. I've been just browsing some lists, trying to get a feel for what sort of changes might have happened, but I am going into this a little bit sort of blindly. So made one change to my list from last, which was to change the 4th duress, swap that with a Thoughtseize, just because it seems like Death and Taxes is back in a big way, which is also why I'm on to Massacre. Sideboard plan, still these 4 cards coming in against Delver. Got some graveyard hate. Got some stuff for the control decks. And yeah, let's jump into a league match here. That was fast. So I hope I'm not too rusty. I don't make too many punts, but let's see. Ooh, we win the die roll. Yeah, this is pretty good hand, I think. So if we like Ponder shows us Doomsday, then we can, if they tap out on their turn 1, we can like go turn 2 Dark Ritual Doomsday with both Force of Will and Daze backup, so that's pretty powerful. But yeah, let's see. Nope. Let's shuffle that and pass. Right. Okay. So I was wondering if they were going to make a Delver, if I might want to daze it, but yeah, not sure. This could be Sneak and Show, it could be Delver. Oof, beautiful. So, how about this? Well, no, let's see. I was thinking about playing out the Scalding Tarn, but I might want to put like a land into my pile. So we're gonna fight back here. They pitched Oko. Question is if it's worth us going down a land to daze. I mean, in a way it seems like a no-brainer, but at the same time we might want to... No, actually, you know what? Let's daze this. So I'm gonna assume it's Delver. It could be like Pokey Pile, I guess, or another deck. But all right, so let's see here. Let's get the Thassa. Probably. So let's say we draw Duress and cast it, and then we pass, and then we draw like Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, then Thassa, and then we have like a C in the pile. Would that work? So we could make it Duress, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, and Underground Sea. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's put Underground Sea on the bottom, and then Thassa, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, and Duress. I think even next turn maybe I'm supposed to just pass without playing the Duress, so that we can play the Duress on the turn that we're casting Thassa. Yeah, I guess I don't mind. I don't think they can deal me... Oh, that's a bit scary. So let's see. This fetch land drops us to 9. Force drops us to 8. Street Wraith drops us to 6. Oh, this is scary. Yeah. So they could have days here, in which case this me forcing here is going to be a big problem. So we can not force. I think we're not supposed to force, and then just go like this and duress them now. This plays around a potential daze on the next turn, where our force of will is no longer live. It's like if they have daze, we can take it now. Or, I guess not, we don't have to take it, but I mean, if they have daze, then we can just, we have an extra mana to pay, that's what I mean. So what are they thinking about here? They might just be looking at our exile pile to see, to try to work out what we could have. Okay, so they have Bolt, which is the obvious take here. So let's, I guess, hope they don't flip off of a Bolt. I think anything else in one will be fine. I guess a cantrip would be kind of scary. Wow, lucky. Okay, so I think we have this. Okay. Sure. Alright, so they are swinging, and we take 2. Like this. Cycle Wraith. Cycle Edge. Alright. So I've seen that these Delver decks have started running like Torpor Orb as like a 1 or 2 of in their sideboard, which is really annoying. So I'm kind of hoping that trend will go away, because that's a pretty annoying card to have to deal with. So let's bring in the 2, where'd they go? The 2 carpets. And the 2 defense grid. Let's take out the Lindell's Vault and a Street Wraith and like a Lotus Petal and a Thoughtseize. sure what's best, the Spell Pierce or something else. So a couple of us have been working from this sort of mantra that what you want against Delver post board. Like, I used to be about cutting forces and bringing in blasts, but since then I've kind of gone away from that. What I really want to do is, I took this from Kai, by the way, Kai Sawatari, but is to pretty much have 0 mana interaction on the turn you go off, or 1 mana interaction, or interaction that costs mana but that you can sort of use delayed. And by that I mean like discard spell, you can use that on the turn before you go off, so that like the key is to basically to have all mana available to only focus on resolving Doomsday on the turn that you try to win, or if possible try and resolve Doomsday and win by like casting Ideas Unbound or whatever, but that you don't have the luxury of spending mana to interact with your opponent on that turn. So you can discard them the turn before, or you can play like a defense grid the turn before, but you don't really want to be sitting on a Spell Pierce. So I'm half tempted to either include the Thoughtseize or the Lotus Petal. The reason to cut a petal is that we're bringing in mana ramp in the form of Carpet of Flowers, but being fast is still pretty enticing. So I think I'm gonna include the Lotus Petal. See how we go. Now, Rug Delver is sort of, or I guess whatever Delver variant. I'm not going to go into like the differences between the different Delver variants, because I think right now Rug Delver is what matters. So Rug Delver right now is like one of our toughest matchups, but we've done a lot of work to improve it and to sort of probably land it somewhere that isn't too far south of 50%. They are still favorites, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of pleased with this sideboard plan, but let's see how it plays out. Okay, this is an interesting hand. It's very vulnerable to Wasteland, and but we do have the means to go like Dark Ritual, Doomsday with like 0 mana protection. I'm going to keep this, and then I'm going to see what my opponent does before, and what we draw on our first draw set before deciding whether or not to actually go Hell for Leather and fetch Underground Sea and go Dark Ritual here. Okay, that's good. Like, whenever your Delver opponent doesn't like play turn 1 Delver, that feels like you got away with something a little bit. Okay, they choose not to shuffle. Well, now it's really tempting. We can, I guess they could have like Daze and then double pitch counter, and okay, then we lose that. But I think it's more likely that they don't, that they can only counter twice. The real conundrum here is how to build the pile and how to factor in for them having like Wasteland. But I'm gonna go for it here, but I don't feel like super duper confident about it. So it would be kind of gross to see Daze here, but we've sort of made our decided to make our stand here. So okay, so let's see if they let this resolve. So they didn't see Cavern of Souls in our pile last turn, but they would have seen it if they were looking through the deck. So there was the Daze. And there is a pitch counter. So they cast Force of Will, targeting Force of Will. I don't think it'll really matter, but let's counter this Daze. So their hand is a land and 3 cards. So let's hope they don't have a third pitch counter. Oh, it's not a third, but yeah, like a third free counter spell. each had 2. Okay. So this is tough. So how about if we go like preordain Snow-Covered Island, Thassa's Oracle, Cavern of Souls, and Edge of Autumn. So how'd that play out? So let's say we put like Cavern on the bottom, then Thassa, then the Edge, the Snow-Covered Island, and then preordain. So how many times do we have to pass the turn? So we pass now, we draw the preordain, cast preordain. If that resolves, we draw Island. Then we draw Edge. So we pass, and then we draw. I think we have to do it like something like this because we can't really. If they have Wasteland and we don't put in like 2 mana sources, we just lose. This is like, we're completely defenseless though if they have something like, say, Stifle. But we're banking on them not having Stifle, but you know, having counter spells like Red Blast or something instead. So we can't really protect against both. The only argument that could be made is that we like don't put in Preordain but instead put in Street Wraith, but that kind of like we're at 8 life once this is done, and they could go like Delver, flip Delver, and then have 2 bolts in hand, and then we lose it if we put in Street Wraith instead of the Edge. So I think I'm okay with this. It's not perfect, but so let's say Cavern. The reason to put Cavern on the bottom, I think, is just in case for some reason we have to go a turn earlier. We and say, okay, well, if they have another counter, then they have it, but we can't wait because we somehow figure out they have lethal. So yeah, let's go like this. So they pass here. We're going to Preordain here, and they could very well have Red Blast, but I could have waited, I guess, but then, like, if they daze here, that would be the reason to wait, is to play around daze, but if they daze here, that sets them back a land as well, so, and they're not really doing anything here, so I think this is fine. Put both on top. So yeah, them not doing anything and them not like blasting or countering this Preordain makes me kind of worry they have Stifle. But hopefully what it means is that they are sitting on a Red Blast and decided that they have to save it for the Oracle, thinking not sort of seeing the Cavern of Souls, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. So they're kind of flooding out here. They have a land in hand. So let's pass. Hopefully they don't have the Torpor Orb. Hopefully they don't have 3 lightning bolts. And hopefully they don't have like Nars. I guess Narset wouldn't matter, but the Ashiok would finish us here. Okay. So let's see if they can do anything to us here. So I think now it has to be Stifle. Yeah, okay, so they had it. So they are playing Stifle. That's unfortunate. So I don't think that really changes anything here. In terms of sideboarding, you could make an argument to include like a Flusterstorm. In fact, maybe I should have done that in lieu of the third Lotus Petal, just to be able to put that in the pile. But I think like getting a Duress is probably, like putting that in the pile is probably fine as well. All right. Yeah, this seems fine. So they mulligan to 6. So I'm gonna preordain off of Tropical Island here, which it's a little bit annoying to have that because it means that's our only green source for the Carpet of Flowers. But you know what? I actually don't mind getting both of these. Maybe the island, you know, will come back to haunt us, but at the same time, if they do have Wasteland or find one, then it's pretty good. We'd be pretty screwed without the island, I think. Okay, so they have the Delver, so the race is on. We're gonna ponder first here. So I guess, I don't know, right? Like the carpet is, yeah, I think I need to take the carpet, to be honest. And then, I think I'm going to Duress here. Okay, so they do have Wasteland. That's a bummer. That's a pretty big bummer. I'm not actually really sure what to take here. Yeah, I guess I probably take the Force of Will. Or maybe that was a punt. Maybe I should have taken the Daze because they can waste us, which means we have to play. No, never mind. We're drawing lands. Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking the look of this. If somehow they don't Wasteland us here, I guess the only way they don't do that is if they draw like an Arcanist here. They don't flip the Delver. So do we cycle Edge of Autumn in response here? The issue is they have the Bolt and the Delver beats. And cycling the Edge here kind of takes us off, like winning on the same turn, that kind of thing. Plus, I don't think we want to draw 2 lands. So I think I'd actually rather keep the Edge in case we find like Dark Ritual and Doomsday. Okay, so we know they didn't draw like a counterspell, at least. So they could have drawn like, probably the best draw for them here would be Delver. If they drew another Delver, I think we've just lost. so question is, do you think they will blast this preordain? I'm guessing they will. But we can't really play the defense grid into the days, so. Yep. Wow, that was good. Excuse me. Right. So I think what I want to draw most of all here is probably a cantrip. And then find like Doomsday and a Lotus Petal. That would be, you know, just what the doctor ordered. Force of Will is not what the doctor ordered. I think if they found a pitch counter, they're almost priced into playing it out here. Yeah, we're at an effective 9 here. Yikes. Well, yep. So Delver getting to what the Delver does. Okay, that was a start. Okay, so I guess I think we have to take these and just hope for the best. So let's draw. Let's go like this. So next turn we draw a Brainstorm. They probably have another Bolt. That would be a reason to... I was going to say that would be a reason to bolt on their turn, but I guess another reason would be that they can't on our turn. Okay. Okay, so let's, I guess, put away the carpet and the Force of Will. I'm not sure there's a way this works, but it could be. I mean, if they have the bolt, then, you know, we're just dead anyways. So that's pretty good. But basically, we're dead to a lightning bolt, or we're dead to them having like Force of Will or Force of Negation. So I wonder if I'm supposed to actually not take this Ideas Unbound. So I'll draw the Dark Ritual, and then if then I could draw like a Duress, I guess, or a Daze. And we want to be Edge of Autumning into the Ideas Unbound anyway. So yeah, let's go like this and see. We might just be dead. Well, Oh no, I made a mistake here. Yeah, there's no cracking this delta. That means that we're dead to the days they have in hand. Wow, that was a punt. Punt, punt, punt. Yeah, let's see. Let's still make them do it. They might also just have like force plus days. Wow. We've drawn like... So if they don't have a force, then like any of like a petal or another ritual or another land that wasn't a fetch land would have let us win through the days. But as it is, we can't. Let's see. So we Edge of Autumn into a brainstorm. Let's see if we can somehow do this. Edge of Autumn into a brainstorm. Cast brainstorm. No, the problem is with that line is we want to draw LED plus, we want basically to keep 2 cards, and we only have 1 card to put back, which is the Doomsday. So let's say we draw LED, Doomsday, sorry, LED, Ponder, and Thassa. We put back Doomsday and Thassa, yeah, maybe. So could that work? Because they drew the 4th land, we're also just dead to Pyroblast, so we're dead to a bunch of things, but let's see here. So we know they have the days unless they brainstormed it away. But I'm gonna guess they didn't. The brainstorm was before our defense grid resolved, or was put on the stack, so they must have thought that their days could do something. So let's say we go like Edge of Autumn into Brainstorm, tab Island to cast Brainstorm, draw Thassa, draw LED, draw Preordain, put back Thassa, so Brainstorm, Ponder, LED, Thassa, put back Thassa, put back Doomsday, then play LED, cast Preordain. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Brainstorm, and then we can put in 1 blank. I guess they could have the Stifle, right? And there is no playing around anything here, so I'm pretty sure we're dead. But let's go for it like this. Put a Cavern on the bottom, and Thassa, Preordain, LED, Brainstorm. Man, if I hadn't played out the Delta, that was a big punt. We could have done something. We could have like put 2 cards back. I kept all 3 that we drew. Okay, so put back Doomsday, put back Thassa, play out LED. Okay, so we have effectively played around days, but are now playing into a Red Blast or a Stifle or a Force of Will. Womp womp. Yep. So what'll it be? All right. You got it. So yeah, beating like Rug Delver with Stifle is annoying. It's like it's an additional thing that we have to play around that, yeah, it just makes things hard, truth be told. And I think the way, like a lot of things as it is with Delver often, like if they didn't have that thing, you know, if only they didn't have that thing or whatever, that's just the way, like the cards kind of stack against this a bit. Okay, so this is a mulligan, and we're on the draw. Now let's keep this. Let's bottom the cavern. Okay, pretty sure that's not Delver. So maybe like, what, lands? Yeah, it looks like lands. Sure. Okay, so I'm gonna fetch basic island here. I think I actually don't want the Thoughtseize, but I don't mind having both of these lands. They didn't dredge. That's interesting. Okay, so they didn't dredge there either. Elvish Reclaimer. I think this is a pretty fine force of will target. Maybe we should have pitched the daze. I'm not going to daze that. The daze is off now. Okay, so they still don't dredge. It's interesting. Yeah. Sure. Alright, so I'm going to Lindell's Vault here and ideally find like Dark Ritual, Brainstorm, and Doomsday. That would be pretty sweet. Yep, that's not it. Well, kind of makes me think close. All right, let's go with this. Put days on the bottom. Force of will, preordained, dark ritual, doomsday. Yeah. So if we play out the Scalding Tarn here, then we're pretty bound for them. Well, and they have access to Wasteland. That's pretty valid play for them to then Wasteland the Tarn to make us shuffle our Lindell's Vault. So I'm not going to do that, also because it's not really going to matter. And depending on what happens here, I might go for it next turn, or I might wait a turn to be able to like have the preordained 2 and then win on the same turn. Okay, so now they dredge. No, actually, no, they don't. There we go, okay. Field of the Dead. So I think I'm actually just gonna like take one more go here. Now they can mess with my Tarn, I don't mind. Because if that's all they do, then we're fine. We'll be drawing the Preordain. So they have assembled their combo now. They have a Dark Depths that they dredged. Or that they loamed, I mean. Alright. So really hoping I'm not like walking straight into something here, like they're not playing like Red Elemental Blast in the main deck or something. Or like, I know some lands lists have been playing like Lightning Bolt. Like if they have Double Bolt here, that gets us. Alright, so let's see here. Ideas Unbound. What's the mana? Like, we have 2 blue. So that's 5 blue with LED, 4 after Preordain, 2 after Ideas Unbound. And so we will draw like Petal, like I guess we don't need the petals, right? I was talking to someone about lands, and you know there are lands that forces each player to draw cards. I forget the name, some Gyre Reach something or other, which actually kind of incentivizes you to have Oracle not be the last card. So how does all this work here? What if we do it like this? So we cast Preordain and draw Ideas Unbound, cast Ideas Unbound, draw Edge, Lotus Petal, Street Wraith. No, how about I guess the stupid Lotus Petal doesn't need to be a Lotus Petal. It could be a Force of Will. So we draw Ideas Unbound draws is like Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, and Thassa. The thing is about the 2 cyclers is we can't cycle twice, because then we'll deck ourselves. No, I think this is fine. I'm probably overthinking things here. And I'm actually going to put like the Street Wraith as the bottom card. Go like this. Go like that. Oh, I'm such a klutz. Forgot I was sacking cards to the LED. Meaning that the Daze goes into the graveyard and is no longer cast like pitchable to Force of Will. Never mind. Okay, so this way we play around 1 removal spell and that land that forces you to draw a card. If they have 2 removal spells, then we lose. But you could block tap for black, yeah. So they could have like decay. Like they could cast 2 decays here. Imagine if I'd only made the Street Wraith, which is a complete blank here, a blue card, if I'd actually thought it through. Okay, they concede. Okay, so we want the Spell Pierce and a Braid. And that's pretty much it. I guess Daze very quickly loses its luster here, it seems like. So is that it? Having Cavern against a deck that could potentially like play Chalice and Red Blast seems fine, even though it might not on the surface feel that way, but But yeah, we want the spell pierces to trade with like sphere resistance or chalice. They're not blank against, I don't know, like oops, sorry. They're not blank against what do you call it? Like a Mindbreak Trap, which is also something to respect. But like they, wow, okay, so that's the play draw thing, right? Can't be helped. And now we're like one step behind. Our Pierce is dead for whatever they have now. Another sphere. Okay, Loam. So I think I'm okay. Like not holding up Pierce to actually be able to dig a bit here. I guess I can't really, well maybe we could have used the Brainstorm, but no, okay, there we go, that's good. Oh, choke. And this one is the one that kills the creature, or I guess the anti Dreadhorde Arcanist tech, or so I'm told. Another sphere. So does that just sort of end us? Like before the Dark Ritual netted 1 mana. So I think this kills us because we pretty much have to hit so we have to hit like a fetch land and an abrade, basically. But I don't think like not doing anything is gonna, and not playing out the Badlands. Okay, there was the fetch land. I guess we'll just hit like 1 more fetch land. No, it has to be 2 more fetch lands, right? To be able to just like naturally pay 5 mana to cast. Okay. So they don't waste us here. Because they valued casting Life from the Loam. That was not a good draw. Okay. Oh, hang on. I think we just have to pass. Oh, Schadenport. It's big. Yep. I think I'm gonna pierce this. I guess, yeah, no, I'm gonna pierce this Life from the Loam here. Or I guess it's, you know, sphere resistance. But now, maybe I shouldn't have fetched the Volk. I don't think I'm getting out from under this because they can just loam up the wasteland. So I'm gonna concede here, just not to waste too much time. And is there something worse than Daze on the play? I'm not in love with the discard spells, but I'm actually also not in love with sending myself back land drops versus lands. So let's try this. So we've won both game 1s and lost both game 2s. Let's see if we can get game 3 here. Oh, nope, can't do that. Yep, let's put Oracle on the bottom. Let's go like this, and I think we pass here and hope that our peers can trade. Something I find really hard to know versus lands is how to like what kind of value to put on their turn 1 Mox Diamond, which they always seem to have. I do believe I'm going to Spell Pierce this. That's a very good card. We have no pressure on them, so I guess I don't hate these. This lets us duress them, and if they want to spend a turn wasting us, I guess, you know, so be it. Does crop rotation do it for them? Man, look, if we had fought over that Mox Diamond, they would have no green mana. That's aggravating. I think we take the exploration here, and we can force of will their crop rotation if we want to. So I think that's more valuable. But now this is happening. Sure. Pass. Yeah. Now we also get to use our island. Duress not looking good right now. Let's spot up the Street Wraith and draw the Brainstorm. I think I'm going to brainstorm the response here. That's a little bit depressing. So, a Dark Ritual, and we're sort of good to do something, but okay, so they have the crop rotation, and they seem happy enough to just like be porting us here. We're going to draw the Duress and pass the turn. Yeah, I mean, right now it's kind of the same thing, right? It frees up their port. I guess we pass. Uh-oh. So now their crop rotation needs to get countered. And we have to draw like Well, that was fine. I was gonna say we have to draw like Dark Ritual. Yeah, let's say no to drugs, kids. Say no to crop rotations. Sure. I was pausing for a second, like, wait, can they like kill me? But they were just removing a frost counter. But now we're sort of defenses down. Ugh. Sickening, right? Like any fetch land. Okay. So if we draw a land now, we're Dark Ritual. Wow, sweet. We're not out of the woods quite yet, but that was pretty good. So let's say we draw LED next turn, and then we cycle, like we dress off the petal. Then we can edge off of like cycling the snow-covered island, sack LED, draw Ideas Unbound, casted, draw petal, Cavern of Souls, and Thassa's Oracle. I guess we need a cycler too, so yeah, this loses to like it loses to some things. Loses to like a sphere resistance, or them having like crop rotation right now. I guess not the crop rotation. Yeah, actually, yeah, no, not sure they would have the mana. But anyways, I think this is fine. Put a cavern. No, what did I do? What did I do? Oh my goodness. I just completely blanked. I was going to get the Ideas Unbound and somehow ended up not putting it in the pile. Okay, so is this salvageable? So we draw a Street Wraith. We Edge of Autumn into petal, into LED, Street Wraith into Thassa, and then the deck is petal and cavern. I guess it'll have to be like that. We lose to like a Red Blast or Abrupt Decay. Wow, what a punt. I guess we still have the duress play to make. Which is decent. Okay, so they are not banking on merit. Lelage to rescue them. All right, let's see. Hopefully not two interactive spells. They had the crop rotation. Okay. If they didn't just top deck that, then they had lethal last turn. I guess. We could have pierced then, and then they couldn't have paid both for the crop rotation and been able to stage. And maybe they didn't have lethal. I'm like, yeah, no, they wouldn't have had the mana, I don't think. Okay. Good deal. So let's cycle this. So we got there in spite of making a pretty big erroneous pile. I can feel that I haven't really played for a while. All right, cool. All right, round number 3 on the play. Ooh, I have to mulligan that, I think. Yeah, that's much better. Let's I think we bottom the edge bottom. And I'm gonna get greedy here and play out the delta to have like the brainstorm set up for next turn. Yeah, I don't hate this. A little bit cantrip heavy, but let's see. All right, I'm gonna cast Yield Brainstorm here. Let's put back, yeah, let's put back 2 petals. And let's just commit to the non-basics here, I think. Yowza. I like both of these. So my opponent could kindly tap out for something here. Oh, it's Death's Shadow. Ugh. Looks like... oh, just not Thoughtseize, not Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. What do you take here if I let this resolve? So I think I'm gonna let this resolve. Like dazing here. If they have a force of will, that we just then you know they force of will next turn. If they take the daze, they do take the daze. Okay, so I think I'm gonna ponder here. Get another daze because I'm lucky. Surely they have like a pitch counter or something. Yeah. Okay, let's hope they don't have 2. Okay. So, I think we're going to want to win through a Cavern of Souls. Let's see if we can work this out. So if they're able to have, like, I think I'm going to build a pile that loses to them having 2 wastelands, but they haven't wastelanded us so far, and we gave them the opportunity to do that. How about this? So I cycle Street Wraith now, cast Preordain, drawing Street Wraith, pass the turn, draw Edge of Autumn, and then if they have a wasteland, we postpone it by 1 turn. But yeah, the good thing about that, the only good thing about that deck is that they don't have reach, they don't have the bolts. And here we do want to put Thassa on the bottom in case we end up having to pass with 1 card left in the deck, because we don't want them to then like to get a Thoughtseize and kill us. Actually, hang on. Do we want to, yeah, maybe we want to draw the Edge of Autumn off of the Preordain. Let's see if they decide to, like, if they have Daze here and then a Death's Shadow they can play, then because we have to cycle Street Wraith twice, it's a bit of a problem for us. But yeah, let's see. They could very well have Daze, but yeah, okay, so they do. Let's pass. Hope they don't both have a Shadow and a Wasteland. Okay, so yeah, let's concede. That's annoying. I guess I could have foreseen that, or at least I could have tried to play like, so the other way to try and beat that, I think, would be to make a pile that draws I'm just trying to, no, I'm not sure. I'm trying to work out if we could have cast the Ideas Unbound instead. Like, let's say, so they dazed us on the Preordain. Let's say we don't play out, we don't like cast the Preordain. We just pass. We have Street Wraith in the end. 2 lands in play and a land in hand, and then they wasteland us and play out the fish. We draw, play our second land, cast we draw Ideas Unbound, cast it, but then they have days for that. I don't know. Maybe if someone has a smart pile, they can put it in the comments. I'm not really sure what the best course of action is in terms of sideboarding versus this deck, because like defense grid is not so hot when your opponent has discard spells, but it is pretty good against all their blue spells. I think Carpet of Flowers is good too, so it might just be a question of like the same strategy. Their clock is just super, like their creatures are like a lot scarier in terms of like reducing your life total than Rug Delver is, because Rug Delver is leaning more towards the Arcanist. Because maybe having like Pierce against like their discard is better here. Oh man. Well, live by the Doomsday, die by the Doomsday, yeah. Alright, let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, we can't keep this, sadly. Yeah, we can keep this. So I guess let's bottom a land, and looks like they're mulliganing too. They mulligan to 5. I think we go hell for leather here and try and resolve Carved of Flowers. At worst, it is a Hymn to Torak for 1 green mana. Okay, it's down. I don't think they can play around it as such. I don't think they have non-island lands, but I could be wrong. There could be like a swamp in there. Okay. So let's cast Ponder here. I guess second Ponder is fine. Yeah, I don't want any of those. Okay. So they fetch now, that's interesting. So we get another mana. I think that was probably a mistake. Like an actual mistake. They probably thought that we were on their Mayan step. But I am going to take this opportunity. I think we have to take that Hymn to Torak. They are some ways away from casting the Force of Negation. Aw, bummer. So what do you take if you're them? You take the Defense Grid or the Brainstorm? Probably the Brainstorm. Yeah, makes sense. And then don't play out the Shadow because it plays into Daze. Yeah, let's just play this, and I think we hope to just draw Doomsday next turn. We're not going to cast Doomsday unless we draw Brainstorm that then finds it. Ugh. Yeah, I think we just lost. I think it had to happen on that turn. I trust they're able to deal themselves a bunch of damage. And now their Force of Negation. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, are you kidding? Triple Daze? Okay. I would venture that this is also a very bad matchup. So what are the good matchups, you might ask? Well, you know, it starts with the opponent's deck not having Delver in it. So let's hold off with this. Yep. Shuffle Brainstorm? No. Alright, so we're effectively dead as we can't, if we go to 1, we can't resolve Doomsday anymore. Alright. No, like, I think the good matchups for this deck are like the control decks and the quote-unquote fair non-blue decks. So I guess like Snowco and Pile I would consider good decks, like Stryfo Pile. I would consider Maverick, Death and Taxes, and Lance as good matchups. I would consider Combo Mirrors to be good matchups, be that like Sneak and Show or Omnitel or Storm. Storm is that's pretty evenly poised, I would say. Yeah, I think Elves used to be an amazing matchup, but then they went and printed Allosaurus Shepherd, and now it's not that good anymore, or at least not amazing. I think the Stompy decks are pretty sort of swingy. I used to really have a hard time beating the Echo Stompy, the Ursa Stompy deck, and it's not in our favor, but I don't think it's that scary. All right. All right. On the draw, it's been evenly balanced so far. Oh, and this is, like, I'm guessing this is Snowco. Not Snowco, sorry, the Strifopile. This is a risky keep in case there aren't a blue producing mana source in the top 2 cards, but I'm gonna keep it. Alright, so I'm gonna Thoughtseize here. And what do they have? So I think it's between taking the Dak Faden or the Icefang Coatl. So I guess we have to take Dak because I was thinking if we take Coatl, then they can't cycle into a pitch counter, but they could still with Cling to Dust. So I think Dak hurts us if we have to go Doomsday Pass. I mean, it doesn't hurt us, but it's like complicates things. Okay. Man, I'm really not playing very well. I just completely managed to overlook that I had 2 Dark Rituals. Had I actually realized that, I think it would have gone for it last turn. Just like gone Dark Ritual and Thoughtseize, and then as it is. So they could have drawn a they could definitely have drawn a Force of Will or Force of Negation, or they could be like trying to dig for one here, in which case I'm guessing it's like Cling to Dust. Oh, okay, so that means that the 4th card has to be blue. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is, how about if we make a pile that is here we go. I was trying to work out what I can beat here. So I think we want Thassa to be the bottom card because just in case they have something weird like an Ashiok or something. And let's say that we draw Thassa, sorry, Street Wraith, and Edge. And Street Wraith. And I guess a Petal. So we'll draw the Petal, play the Preordained, draw Street Wraith, play LED, and then win unless they counter that. Yeah, I'm not going to play out the Cavern. No reason to reveal that we have that, or leave it vulnerable to something like a Assassin's Trophy or whatever. Okay, so no 3-mana threat here. So we still know 3 of their cards, and they're all duds. I guess the Cling to Dust can cycle into something. Oh, I just realized, by the way, we'll be going to dealing. We'll be dealing ourselves 4 damage, dropping to 3, and they have the Punishing Fire, so that's something to be aware of. All right, let's see. See if that resolves. It does. Choose Wizard. Hope they don't also have Bolt. Remember to tap our Cavern of Souls before clicking on Thassa's Oracle, because if you don't do that, it'll just automatically empty the pool if there's available mana. So what's this? Guess they're hoping to find a lightning bolt. That would be my guess. Okay. I don't think they could have found anything else, or that they could have been digging for anything else. Alright, so I think I don't mind these cards. I don't mind these cards at all. And I'll cut the LED and the one Street Wraith, I think. Cut a couple of Dazes and cut the Limdal's Vault. I think that's probably fine. It's like ideally you want to cut, I think, the LED against most blue opponents, because a lot of the time you are just fine making a Doomsday and then passing a few times, and you don't want to actually do the Hail Mary of sacking LED. Alright, I think we can keep this. Having the Cavern in hand's a little bit awkward, but I don't hate what I'm seeing here. Opponent mulligans to 6. Okay. Representing a Red Blast. We could have brought in, what do you call it? We could have brought in a Carpet of Flowers, but they have non-island basic lands, and they have Grove of the Burn Willows and stuff, and they probably have Bayou or whatever. So the point is they have several non-island lands, and they have the ability to operate sort of without off of astrolabes. Okay, so I think I'm gonna offer up the trade here of a Pyroblast Because I don't want to tap out and only have the force. Yeah. That's pretty good, I think. So I'm going to let this happen. Ideally, I want to just draw another land that makes blue or black mana. Are they going to tap out here? Dag Faden. So I'm going to brainstorm here, I think, to inform myself on whether or not that's a problem. And maybe hit one of my remaining 2 dazes. I mean, yeah, that's probably fine. Go like this. Dak resolves. They're tapped out. I get to resolve Doomsday next turn. And then we'll sort of take it from there. They can then target me with Dak if they want to. And if they do, that's probably fine. So I think I'm going to get Badlands here, because I want to be able to put a red blast in my pile if I end up thinking that's what I need. Force of negation. So I think I'm gonna force and not Flusterstorm here. Okay, Thassa's Oracle, that's sort of numero uno. So let's say we draw a Duress, then we cast Duress, and then they Veil, and then we Fluster, then we Ideas Unbound, and we draw. Let's see that again here. So Duress. Is there any world where we want to make it a Thoughtseize actually? Probably not, but let's just see if we can do that. So Thoughtseize, and then we cast Ideas Unbound, we draw Petal. Sorry, we draw Edge of Autumn, we draw Lotus Petal, and we draw like Street Wraith. That means we drop to 8 now. We would then drop to 4. And then what happens if they DAC us on their turn? That means we draw Thoughtseize and Edge, and let's say we discard Thoughtseize and Edge, and then we draw. I guess we have to discard Ideas Unbound then. So we discard Ideas Unbound and Thoughtseize, and then we draw Street Wraith, and we Wraith into Petal and Edge into Thassa. I think that's okay. Say Thassa on the bottom. Or did I mess that up maybe? Let's just see. So they DAC us here, we draw Thoughtseize, Edge. We bottom Ideas Unbound and Thoughtseize. Then we draw Street Wraith, and then, yeah, okay. Then Petal and, yeah, that should be fine. Let's see. And they're targeting themselves. That's fair. So something that messes with our lands here would be annoying. Like something like a Blood Moon or something would be kind of preposterous, you know, considering the lands that are in play on their side, but I'm not ruling it out. That or back to basics. Okay. Alright, so I think this ought to do it, but let's see. Storm 1. So what happens here if they have double Flusterstorm? Is that like Flusterstorm or spell and spells? No. I think I'm supposed to counter this. Okay, that's actually good. I was just thinking, like, if they had like double red elemental blast, that would be incredibly annoying. Something like that, or it basically like 2 of like 1 mana counter spells. Maybe I was actually supposed to not let this resolve, or rather to let the thing resolve, drown the lock. But as things stand, it's fine. Alright, so it looks like we got there versus Stryfopile. So let's see if we can make it a sort of a come out slightly ahead league and go 3-2, or if we're gonna be licking our wounds with a 2-3. Alright. So this is a mulligan. Yeah, let's keep this. Let's bottom a Doomsday. On the draw. What will it be? Alright, no Delver. So they bottom both their cards. Not sure what to go for here. I actually think I'm gonna fetch Basic Swamp and cast the Duress. You could argue that we should hold off with the Duress, but this could also be like a Storm deck. So it is Delver with main deck Red Elemental Blast. Wow. I mean, I say it's Delver. They bottom both cards. I think we have to take the Force of negation just because that counters Doomsday, whereas Red Blast does not, and unless we draw a Dark Ritual or a Petal, we will be waiting 2 more turns, and I don't trust that they won't draw into a blue card in that time to, you know, to pitch. So they're going to make the mandrills, right? And they even got the wasteland. So I'm going to do this in case we draw like Lotus Petal. That red blast is going to be hard to beat. Wasteland. Ooh, you know what? That was risky. So we have one window now. We need to draw like Dark Ritual or Petal. So what are the odds that they're gonna let us get another look? And yeah, the problem is that they're like, we can't really win on the same turn without resolving a blue spell. Okay. Come on. Use your red mana. Really? Dreadhorde Arcanist. So, unless I'm missing something here, we know that they can't have like force. They don't have like a blue card and a force. So, unless they have like a spell snare or something. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Of course, they have the strand. Yeah. So let's see here. So next turn, they deal us 5 plus 3. That's 8. We drop to 3. I still think we can't really do anything else. Right, or can we? Nah. I mean, the dress was at least something. So let's cast it here and take the red blast. Oh. Yikes. Wow. So I'm guessing this is Pokepile. Yeah, we were dead to this. I guess we're not entirely dead. There is a world where we draw, where they don't like kill us, and where we then draw like a dark ritual. In which case we can like get to cast Ideas Unbound, that kind of thing. And then like maybe draw out of this. Actually, yeah, that would do it. The Dark Ritual would definitely do it. Oh, okay, never mind. Alright, let's see what we would have drawn. Alright, so this is not an easy matchup. I wouldn't like to think so. So they don't have as much pressure, so even though they definitely aren't like slow about things, but I think these cards are good. I wonder about these cards. I think we can't really be that aggressive. I could be totally off here. I really don't like that these cards do nothing against Dreadhorde Arcanist and Hooting Mandrills. But I do like that they counter Stifle. Maybe like 2 Spell Pierces. Like maybe Spell Pierce is just not good enough. But the other cards, like Flusterstorm, is also good against Stifle. Pierce counters. Like it's all. I think it's all about like what counters something before Doomsday and what is good after Doomsday. And I think Pierce is not that good after Doomsday, and probably not good enough before Doomsday. All right, I'm gonna keep this. It's a little bit land heavy, but we have spells. We have good spells, so. No. The Brainstorm was good, the rest of the cards not so much. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought they were going to hold up like Blast / Stifle, but guess not. I'm not sure they know what we're playing. From what I've been able to pick up, like Doomsday has picked up a lot in the last couple of months, so I think it's more common to face it now. All right, let's brainstorm here. I think we put back Tarn. And C. Let's cast Preordain. Yeah, bottom and top. So they do have Delver. Wow. Did not see that coming. So it is just like a more mid-rangey Delver deck. Okay. We could try and Daze here, but yeah, I guess I got, as the saying goes. So let's Duress. I think we have to take the Lightning Bolt, as sad as that sounds. Let's play into this Daze here, and I think I'm going to Daze back. Oh. Okay, bottom, top. Let's go. I mean, if we can find a Doomsday in like next 2 turns, maybe. Okay, so they want to ensure they flip. We could Daze here, but then they can just Daze back. All right, so looking rough for our hero here. So if we were to draw Doomsday now exactly, we could like fight over one of their dazes, but I guess we didn't. Dread Horde. I think take 1 days. Like this. Kind of want them to days here. I'm guessing they won't, but basically because that lets me get some value out of my days, which is probably going to be dead from next turn onwards. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Probably not good enough, though. Not sure we can actually afford to take the carpet. Like, so we drop to 11, and then we draw Brainstorm. We have both Brainstorm and Carpet in hand. And they will have made Dread Horde. If they untap, then we drop to 8, 7, 4 with a Lightning Bolt potentially. So we could also like play out the carpet now, and then just hope for glory next turn off of blind draw. But I think we have to wait for the Brainstorm. Okay, there's a Ponder. I guess it means that our days is live on their Arcanist, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter, you know? If they tap out for that, they might not even, they might want to keep open mana for whatever. Okay, no, looks like they're gonna go for it. I'm gonna let that happen. I'm gonna Brainstorm first to be able to shuffle. So I guess they're really considering like forcing here. Or maybe it's the days, I'm not sure. Wow. Okay. So we're probably dead. Because if they have a bolt, you know. Maybe we can fight with Fluster, I'm not sure. But the problem is, like, we need next turn. We basically need both Doomsday and a card that draws us a card. So the only way out of this now is like to draw either Brainstorm or Ideas Unbound. And then, you know, hope to find more good stuff. And since we took out LED, that's pretty unlikely. So they target Ponder. Yeah, they have this sewn up, I think. So 0-3 against Delver, that's pretty disappointing. But you know, some close games, I think, you know, I guess if Stifle is just like, if Stifle is seeing a lot of play, then, you know, you have to respect that. And that is kind of not so awesome for us. Okay, they shuffle off of that Ponder. Play another Delver. Okay, I mean, they have lethal next turn, but I guess they could be worried that we have a removal spell or something, but we didn't. Alright. GG's. Okie doke. Well, that was, you know, not the most scintillating league, but that is what it is. Some good games and some frustrating losses, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back at some point with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.